Get the upper hand on your competition with SCUF controllers. Use code OGXRAYZ to get 5% off your entire order. Yo guys, what's up? It's XRAYZ. Welcome back to another Black Ops 4 video. Now today I actually wanted to make a video going through some of the things that I find incredibly annoying or hate in Black Ops 4. And it's a few of them. They're very small things. They're more annoyances than they are like hate. But I'm going to title it hate just because these are things that if they are in the full release of the game might annoy me to the point where I'm probably going to be doing a lot of rage quitting and probably not playing as much. So these are probably things that are just my opinion. Maybe some of you guys are cool with some of these things. But for me, these are just things that I find annoying and kind of ruin the experience a little bit for me. Overall, I'm still very much enjoying the Black Ops 4 beta. It's actually the last day, and unfortunately, I was not able to play as much as I wanted to. I'm only level 19. I've been like grinding as much as I could, but I was out of town, and then when I came back, and I was like incredibly sleep deprived, and so I didn't get as much playtime as I could because I slept a lot. And then finally I'm like grinding into the final hours of the beta. But even though I did not have as much playtime as possibly you, or maybe if you are on Xbox, maybe you want my honest opinion on stuff I don't like. And hopefully this is also just feedback for Treyarch, and they can implement this or think about it before the beta coming up this upcoming weekend or before the game comes out in October. So let's start off first. So one of the things that I noticed, which not really as annoying as some of the other things on this list, but it's one of those things that was kind of like a head scratcher for me, was that there is now no more drop shotting. So if you try to get into a gunfight and you try to drop shot, it'll actually kind of default you into a hip fire shooting, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of it. It's slow and you're hip firing, and there's really no point in drop shotting. Now, I would say that, fine, drop shotting, who cares? This is just something that was in the game before. It wasn't in every Call of Duty, so fine, it's not in there. The only downside to this is that this was kind of a move that you would go to if the game was very heavy in terms of jump shotting, and Black Ops 4 at the moment in this beta is a very, 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 very jump shot game. Like every engagement I get into, dudes are jump shotting, or dudes are jump shotting around corners, or they're sliding into a jump shot. So it even got to the point where even Treyarch is like, we're going to look into the slide jump shot, which personally I don't really have a problem with any of that. It makes the game fast paced and fun. But if you're going to have all of this jump shotting and it being the meta of the game, of that's what you need to do in gunfights to win, then you need to have other options like drop shotting. Now, I have heard from Prestigious Key, Ryan was actually tweeting at me, and he said that he found an attachment that allows you to drop shot, which is just, it's weird. Why would an attachment allow you to drop shot? Like, I don't get it, but apparently there is one. I'll have to look into it more, but by default, you should be able to. If you're going to have people jump shotting around corners and slide jump shotting, then you should have drop shotting as another viable option to get away from those gunfights, or kind of give them a different look, a different angle for these dudes who are jump shotting. So we'll see about that, but for now I thought that was kind of annoying. It was kind of one of those where I went into one. I don't really drop shot a lot, but I went into one and I saw that you hip fire, and I was like, why? Speaking of hip fire, another thing that forces you to hip fire is the flashbangs. So the flashbangs now in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, when you get hit by one, specifically that 9 bang, I believe is what it's called, one of those like special gears or whatever. Well, essentially this thing is way, way, way too overpowered. You're in this like concussed space or flash state for way too long, and then on top of that, when you are in this concussed slash flash state, you have one of your hands up. So one of your hands is like trying to block out the sun, even though there is no sun, and you know that's not something that's happening. But you got dudes who, you got your character like sticking his hand out, and you're essentially just hip firing. So not only are you not able to see anything, but now you can't even like ADS or have better accuracy. You're just literally hip firing, which is annoying to me. And they recently, I think, even buffed the flashbangs and people got mad. Just in general, and I'll talk about this a little bit further down because this is one of my gripes also, but we'll talk about that a little bit further down. But just all the tacticals and abilities I find are a little bit unbalanced, and I'll tell you guys why as we get further along. But The next thing was spawns. This is something that's going to be constantly being worked on no matter, you know, if the game comes out a year after Black Ops 4 is out, spawns are probably going to be getting worked on because it's very difficult. It probably doesn't help that they have like spawn beacons now that are in the game for your teammates. Probably also doesn't help the meta of trying to fix the spawns, or at least it probably makes it a lot more difficult. So I constantly find myself getting shot from behind, like not even just like that they rotated behind me, but I'm just like they're literally spawning behind me. Like I'm spawning in and they spawn in behind me and kill me, or I'll like spawn in and there'll already be people, like 50 million people behind me shooting me. I find that kind of annoying. So hopefully those get worked on a little bit. The next thing is one of the specialist abilities is a riot shield that you can shoot through. Now at first I was like, you know, fine, you know, if you have a riot shield you should be able to shoot, or you know, it should be as good as some of the other specialists, otherwise it'd just be a riot shield. But then I thought about it and I'm like, no, because there really is no weakness when you're shooting right through your shield. You know, if you're using any other specialist abilities, you are very vulnerable still to dying. If you're using the purifier, you can get destroyed by someone. If you are using even the ground pound of I believe, blanking on the name, I don't know why, but if you're using that ground pound thing, you can get shot while you're in the air. Basically any other specialist abilities, you can get destroyed. But with the riot shield, you're literally running towards people with a shield that you can shoot through and people can't kill you unless they throw a grenade behind you, which is not a guarantee because those are on a timed system. And speaking of that, you know, there we go, we're making that transition for what I was talking about. All these specialist abilities or specialist gear that they're giving us is kind of ruining it for me, because normally I would be running like a concussion grenade, maybe a you know, a regular grenade, and now because you have these specialist like ability ones or specialist gear, now it's kind of ruining it because you can't just spawn in with your grenade or spawn in with your concussion. Now you have some super overpowered version of it because it has to cool down and come back into the game. So now you have a super OP tactical, you know, flashbang that not only makes you like blind for a million years, but also makes you hip fire. Then you have grenades that you throw out that cluster up and then destroy people. I just feel like because they're mixed in with these other specialist gears, all of them have become kind of like these overpowered version of things, and you can't make them bad, because if you make them bad, then what's the point of having them on a timed cooler? So I just feel like it kind of, one thing led to another, and now we have like OP versions of this kind of stuff because they're on a cooldown as opposed to just spawning in with them. So I just feel like that whole system is a little bit flawed. Again, these are more annoyances and things that are going to make me like stop playing the game. It's just stuff that I've noticed, and again, these are just my opinion. Maybe you guys have your own opinions. Now, the next thing was, and this is one that a lot of people complained about, was the armor in Black Ops 4. And this has been addressed already by Treyarch, and literally their answer was, we're going to look into it, but we want to give it a chance for people to unlock more stuff and counteract. So basically what they were saying is, yeah, we know the armor is OP, but guess what? If you level up far enough, you might find stuff that counteracts that. And to me, it's just like, dude, it just makes it annoying when you're trying to grind. If you're going to be prestiging in Black Ops 4 and you're going to be resetting, you're going to be annoyed by that armor a ton, unless you have that one weapon that has the armor piercing that you're just going to use an unlock token on, or I don't know, you just switch over to other weapons. It just makes it so some weapons are less viable than others. And then on top of that, I found this as well, it just makes the time to kill in this game incredibly unpredictable. If someone's not using armor, you can kill them relatively fast, and if they are using armor, it takes a million years to kill them. And then even if you're using the armor piercing rounds, sometimes you're using it for no reason because you don't know who's using armor and who's not. It adds this level of just unpredictability to the game that I'm not really a fan of, because again, like I was saying, if I'm not using armor piercing, I'm at a disadvantage. If I see someone using armor, then it takes a million years. If they're not using armor, it's like a short amount of time, so you can't really gauge how much you should be in a gunfight, because if there's going to be someone else coming around the corner, you don't know if you finish this dude off or if you got to take another million shots at him to get ready for the next guy. And overall, a combination of that with the healing system that we have now makes it very hard for you to go into a gunfight with 2 or 3 people, because it's like, I'm going to get destroyed. Now we got to kill someone, got to get into a better position, then kill someone, as opposed to there's 3 people here, I can probably run in there and out outmaneuver them, because you can't really do that anymore unless you're bunny hopping a million times, and you're still going to die. All right, so my final gripe that I wanted to talk about is the ability to heal after you get burned or after you take damage from fire. There's a cooldown on there, so now even if you are able to heal yourself, if that ability is there, you can't use it until this cooldown on your fire damage disappears. At first I was like, okay, whatever, not really that huge of a deal, not really a big deal. But then you start to slowly realize just how long it takes for you to actually be able to heal yourself. It's essentially a death sentence. With how fast-paced this game is, if you get hit by a little bit of fire and you need to heal yourself, you can't for, I don't even know what the time down or the cooldown time is, but it feels like it takes like 8 or 10 seconds or even longer sometimes. Or at least that's how it feels to me, because of, again, like I was saying, how fast your engagements are. If you get hit by fire, you're essentially dead. You might as well just get killed by the fire, because even if you survive, you're not going to be able to heal forever, and you'll get killed by someone else. And there's a sense of strategy to that, and being tactical, sure. One of the abilities you have on the specialist on Fire Break is that you're able to put down your reactor core, and it does damage to people. And that one, I'm like, cool, that's all right. You know, if you're trying to clear out an objective, fine, you can do that to prevent people from, you know, being able to heal, and you'll be able to run in there, and your teammates can clear people out. I understand that. I can understand also the purifier, but it feels like it's like a death sentence. Like, essentially, if you get touched by fire, game over, son. Go run into the water or just jump off the edge, because you're gonna die either way from how fast these engagements are. But anyways, guys, those are some of the things that I hate about Black Ops 4. Hopefully they get addressed. Again, these are my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys are completely against my suggestions or things that I don't like. Drop them in the comment section down below. And I'm sorry if I sounded a little bit weird. I'm actually a little bit sick. The transition of going out of town and coming back and then like being sleep deprived has just kind of screwed everything up for me. So I do apologize if I sounded like crap in this video. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. Let me know what you guys thought of the beta so far. And if you haven't been able to, what you've thought from what you've seen from gameplays and videos. Hopefully we can all have a lot of fun in this upcoming weekend, and they address some of the issues that are in the game that the majority of the community agrees with. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on the video, guys. Super appreciated. And if you are new to the channel, if you want to see even more Black Ops 4 content, then make sure you guys are subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss a single upload from me. And then also, if you guys want to support the channel directly, you guys can do so by checking out my memberships. You get access to early content, exclusive videos, and special badges that show up in all my live streams and in the comment sections of all my videos. So check that out only if you're willing and able to. And then last but not least, if you want to talk about anything, Twitter is the best place to do so. I'm usually on there all the time, so give me a follow over there at OGXRAYZ, and I'll have links to my gaming and second channel for more content from me. You guys have an awesome day. Take care. I'm out. Peace.
Nomad down.
Ew, ugly. Not even a quick scope.